All right, happy Tuesday, everyone. Crypto market update. Let's get straight into it. Nothing has changed since yesterday. Absolutely nothing. This is still our low. So we are still bullish on the hour, on the 4, all the way up into the 6-hour mark. Still bullish, so we can still look for accumulations technically, but just be mindful that we are creating quite a bit of, not necessarily supply, but we're coming down quite aggressively. So just have that in the back of your head that there might be a distribution potentially. Let's have a look. Yeah. Do have a bit of liquidity above. Yeah, well, like at the end of the day, we're kind of just in an awkward ranging environment, so not a whole lot to do at the moment. In the short term, we can expect some minor pumps, but in the long term, we can expect to still go lower. So let's see how price is going to react when it hits this this 6-hour low. I'll leave that there actually for now. Let's monitor if and how price reacts when it hits this low. USDT dominance. All right, let's have a look here. Technically speaking, this was a break of structure. You can say it was on the 4-hour. What does it look like on the 4-hour? Yeah. So we're bullish on the 4. Broke structure there to bullish on the 4. I haven't broken back to bearish. We've just SFP'd our lows quite a bit here. Here was an SFP. And we are bullish on the hourly as well, which does make you think that Bitcoin's probably going to go lower, at least for now, and at least until USDT dominance hits this supply block, which will be interesting to see what happens should it hit the supply block. So that's, yeah, just based on this USDT dominance chart, I am expecting alts to go lower in the short term. And then maybe if we get a rejection from this supply later down the track, we might get a, somewhat of a pump in alts, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Yeah, just based on this USDT dominance chart, we're still pretty good to go to look for distribution models throughout our alts. So yeah, let's keep an eye out for distribution models. I'm just trying to see if there's any demand worth plotting on our chart here. You might have this, but I have a feeling that it may have been mitigated on the lower time frame. So let's have a look. Yeah, it's kind of all been mitigated. No overlapping demand either, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, so let's just understand that short term like as much as Bitcoin is bullish just because of this big leg up, you can kind of see it go lower. So just expect it to be bearish, especially given how bullish USDT dominance is looking at the moment. Yeah, like it's pretty much bullish across everything. Daily as well. Daily looks good. Just making a higher low for a higher high. We've SFP'd that. Yeah. Yeah, expect USDT dominance to go higher at least for now, at least until we hit this supply. So keep an eye out on distribution models for alts. ETH at the moment, we have this potential distribution model, so nothing really needs to be done now. Just be patient and see how price develops. There's our return to zone, so we'll leave that as is. Keep it simple. With mitigated supply, we have this little accumulation model here. Yeah, this actually looks alright. Yeah, nothing at the moment for with. Keep the ball rolling. Sol's failed this accumulation model. It's moved down quite low outside of the deviation limit. Therefore, it's not really of any interest anymore. We distributed there at the top. And yeah, not a whole lot to do at the moment from Sol. Yeah. We'll wait for price to develop a bit more. Cake is in a confirmed distribution. Right there. No real opportunity to re-enter. We've also kind of left some somewhat of supply, oh not supply, sorry, somewhat of a liquidity curve on the buy side above us. No real supply though, to be honest. Like this has all been mitigated. No real re-entry opportunity as well. I've just put that alert there in case this third tap gets deviated, which we can then keep an eye out for Model 1. But the way this is going, I feel like we're just going to go lower. So we'll leave that as is. Bitcoin Cash. Front ran our third tap POI. Doubt we're going to be going back up. I feel like this is just going to be a two tap model, which is not what we trade. So we'll leave that as is. Yeah, that's it. Let's have a look at Aave. Now this is looking good. It's actually looking really good. I just want to see if there's a better third tap POI, and it might be this. This could be a okay third tap POI, so we'll see what price looks like on the lower time frame. Okay, interesting. Well, there you have it. This is a perfect third tap POI for Aave. If we can come into this third tap with a nice return to zone, I am very much happy to. We've even grabbed this high here, have we? Yeah, beautiful. This is beautiful. Really, really nice. Aave's grabbed all this liquidity, created supply in the meantime. This is a beautiful, beautiful third tap POI, guys. I'll move Aave to the top for now. So yeah, plan with Aave is pretty simple. Maintain a return to zone up into this third tap. And then if we can get a nice break of structure, then happy to take it. The only thing I would also just monitor is this demand. And just analyze how price, given we get the nice break, etc. I'll just be careful of how price reacts approaching this demand. But it looks like on the lower time frame, this isn't really that major demand. Yeah, this demand actually looks pretty weak to me, so it's been mitigated on the lower time frame. There's just a bit of an inefficiency here, but it's not major. Yeah, Aave's looking pretty good. Honestly, it looks really, really good. So yeah, let's see how we approach this third tap POI. Beautiful return to zone. There you go, that is Aave. Let's be patient and see how our price develops throughout the day. Pepe. Pepe's still actually okay. Maybe we could catch an accumulation here. Accumulation into a distribution, which is which could be an okay setup. I'm just trying to see what POI can be used here. You kind of have to use this as your POI. Which you might even not get a you know, technically it's an already confirmed Model 1, so we might not necessarily get a revisit. Tap 1, tap 2, tap 3. And yeah, obviously, given this is an accumulation, then you don't necessarily need a return to zone into this third tap, because you can just see this whole accumulation here being an accumulation with the purpose of creating this third tap of the higher time frame distribution to then push price down. So yeah, that given this accumulation here, you don't necessarily need a clean return to zone coming into this third tap, and you can have an aggressive move because it was created due to an accumulation, which is here. And then we come back down. So let's see what price does here. But yeah, so far so good for Pepe and Aave. We'll monitor those for now. Quant, yeah, this range is done, and nothing I'm too interested in monitoring at the moment for Quant. XRP, not a whole lot. Supply's been mitigated. Asta's mitigated all this supply as well. Asta's just ranging environment has been terrible. Yeah. Is that equal lows, or have they been grabbed? They've been grabbed. Let's move on. So as always, guys, I'm just looking for clean models. If the model's not clean, I'm not going to try and like pull a model out of nowhere. Link, leave that as is. Well, shout out if you took that distribution and you let it run. Good on you for letting it run if you have. Honestly, what a clean model this was. Beautiful. And we've left quite a bit of supply as well. Boom, look at that. Majestic supply. Sui is failing as well. Well, we'll see if this later becomes an accumulation. But it will all be very context dependent. So yeah, we'll give this a bit more time. XLM, not really a fan of the price action here. We'll leave that as is. Still got that liquidity here, which is probably going to get swept, and our alerts are still there. And then I think we are about to approach whatever demand was in here. But then yeah, with this demand, then it's not really as essential just because of the liquidity that is below. And then from memory, I think I've actually already looked at this demand and it might not be valid on the lower time frame. So let's validate that. Yeah, there you go. That's exactly why it's not charted on here. It's all been mitigated. There you go, not valid demand. So yeah, XLM, we'll let that do its thing. All right, Fartcoin. Nothing here. Let's just wait until we get some mitigations of this demand. Doge, not really a whole lot. Still focusing on this higher time frame range. Supply here has been mitigated. Yeah, that's it. Not a fan of this XMR price action. Similar thought with Litecoin. Not really liking what it's doing. Gonna leave that as is. Yeah. Pump as well. And virtual is pretty much running back into heavy demand and rejecting from it, as well as maybe leaving behind supply. Is it? Not necessarily. Yeah, we can use this as supply, I think. Can we? Okay, no, we can't. It's all been mitigated. So yeah, nothing really I'm liking out of those two pairs in crypto. Virtual, give it more time. BNB. just based on the fact that we have accumulated here and we're in a technically confirmed model, I'm happy to take my chance on a potential reaccumulation in here. So let's see what this range does. Render completing this distribution to a potential accumulation. Tau. Tau does have quite a bit of liquidity up here, so I don't mind potentially trying to long this. Let's just see what happens later down the track. Let's just see what happens. But like, if you guys haven't clocked it by now, I'm only focusing on like A to A plus setups. Otherwise, I'm not even going to bother, especially with crypto. Like, it's just such a volatile market. And it just takes one person to dump a few $1,000s into a coin and it just pumps. Or, you know, takes them to sell a few $1,000s and then it just dumps. So focus on higher time frame models. Focus on high probability models as well. That's why I'm looking at Aave and Pepe at the moment. They look very, very clean. And that's honestly it. That is it for now. That's crypto for today. Keep an eye out for my Forex update later on. And yeah, that's it. If you guys enjoy this video, subscribe, and I'll catch you all soon. Peace.